Hey, I just cracked open a peach monster and we are going to be making a hot pad. This is the yarn I'm using, Peaches and Cream Stripey in Spring Blue Stripes. When you're making anything for your kitchen that's going to be touching heat, you need to make it with cotton because acrylic will melt. So starting with the cotton yarn of your choice, I like this specifically for hot pads. I hate this yarn any other time. It's really stiff, it's not very comfortable, but it's very durable and obviously heat resistant because it's cotton. Let's get started. I'm also starting to practice with these horrible metal hooks I don't like, because if you're never uncomfortable, you'll never grow, right? Something like that. All right, we're gonna start with a slip knot on our hook and we're gonna chain about 40. I'm not gonna make you watch this whole thing. I'll just start with a couple, show you. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. The amount doesn't matter that much. We're just going to be doing single crochet all the way around. So however many you feel like making, how big you want your pot holder to be. I'm going to do about 40. I lost count. Let me count, get up to 40, and I'll meet you back here. Once we have about 40 chains, I think I might have done 39, we're going to start single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So into this one, we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Into the next, single crochet, into the next, single crochet. And we're going to do that all the way down until we get to the beginning of our chain, and then I'll show you what we'll do next. Alright, now that we have finished our row of single crochet, we're going to flip our work over and we're going to be working in the round. We're going to go back into the other parts of the chain that we didn't crochet into. So right under there, and just single crochet all the way back to where we started. It'll look a little weird, it'll kind of flip up a little at the edges. That's okay, we want that. I'll meet you back at the end of this row. Alright, now that we've got our first round of single crochet, we're going to go back to this very first stitch here that we made, and we're going to start working a back loop only single crochet. We're not going to join, we're just going to work in a spiral, just never ending single crochets. So we're switching up back loop only single crochet once we finish the first round. And we'll just keep doing that. So we're going to do this for quite a few rounds. This will kind of start folding in on itself. That's what we want. That's how we're going to make this hot pad. And in case some of you are wondering, this part right here is going to be the inside of the hot pad. So while we do these back loop only stitches, it creates this ridge right here, this little bump, which is going to make just a little bit more cushion, a little bit more room for that heat to travel through before it burns our hands. That's what helps make this work so well. I'll do a couple rows and then I'll meet you back here to show you kind of a progress picture of what it'll look like. All right, ignore the sun shining through really bright. This is what we're going to have part of the way through. So see how it folds in on the corners like this? We're going to keep going until these sides right here meet in the middle, and then we're going to sew it shut. So this is entirely dependent on what yarn you chose, how tight your tension is, things like that. So the amount of rows doesn't matter. This pattern goes more by feel. So once these two edges right here are touching in the middle, that's where we'll meet up next. All right, now we've got something that looks like this. Once the sides touch, you'll probably be somewhere in the middle of a row. It's fine to go ahead and finish. You want to get to as close to this corner as possible, and then we're going to sew it shut. I really don't feel like sewing, so to be honest with you, I think I'm probably just going to slip stitch it shut. When we get to that corner, I'm going to go ahead and add a loop, which is just some chains, and then slip stitch to reattach, because I like to hang these in my kitchen. I'll meet you at the corner. Alright, I'm in the corner. I'm going to go ahead and chain, I don't remember how many, probably about 10. There's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to slip stitch back into that same spot. Alright, okay. After we have the loop attached, I'm going to slip stitch this shut. So we're going to find the first loop we want to use to close it, and then match up with a loop on this side and slip stitch. Alright, next stitch. I don't know if I'm in frame, sorry. It's been a while. Oh my god, okay. Here's one. Here's the next one. Slip stitch. We're going to do this all the way down until it is completely shut. I'll meet you back at the end and show you what it looks like. And this is what we're left with. A super sturdy pot holder. Mine has a seam from sewing it, or slip stitching it, but that doesn't bother me. If it does bother you, go ahead and sew it and it won't have this seam here. This is what the other side looks like. This is where we started. And I also have this big ass loop here that I'm choosing to ignore so I don't go absolutely feral. Let me know how you like this and if there's anything else you'd like to see.